I'm Rebecca. I am a DJ and producer from Birmingham, UK, but I'm based in Berlin.
Hi, I'm Cancel. I'm from Belgium, and I mainly make like industrial techno, hard techno, industrial hardcore. So I think it was like a few years ago when I was playing, my monitor caught fire. So while I was playing, I saw like smoke and flames and such, and then somebody came with like a fire extinguisher to just like put it down. But I kept on playing, and that was really like, yeah, once in a lifetime I gonna experience this.
I mean, usually I get to see mosh pits and all sorts of crazy stuff, fighting. In Italy, there was a period of time where there was just lots of fights. So at some point, you see the floor kind of spreads out, and it's not a mosh pit, it's an actual fight. So I don't know, it's not really funny, but there's just like certain things which kind of like wake you up from DJing, and you're like, whoa, okay, what's happening? So yeah, things like that.
Never like a snake sheds its skin.
I would absolutely love to collaborate with Liam Howlett from The Prodigy, just because I just think he's like a musical genius, and I would just love to see his process, because I heard like one of his albums, he basically made it on his laptop and from his bed, and I'm really intrigued, and obviously he's king of hardcore, UK hardcore.
So for me, with who would I love to make a track is with Noisia. So yeah, unfortunately they stopped, but they were a very important part for my career, like inspiration, and still are. So if I need to pick one, it's definitely them.
Your body is not who you are.
I can't really remember like one specific track. There's definitely like this period of time when I was starting out, and it was yeah, there was like more minimal kind of tracks. And actually, when I listen back now, like to some of them, they're not super bad. They're very basic, but I worked a lot on it being like, I worked on the sounds more. I feel like I worked more on the individual sounds back in the day than I probably do now.
So I think my first track I made 20 years ago. So it was basically drum and bass on an old computer, you know, on Fruity Loops 5, I think. Yeah, if I listen to it again, it brings a lot of memories, but still, you know, it's still, I can compare it with what I'm doing now because everything you get now from sample packs, from production classes, you have more available, so you were limited. But when I listened to it, I was like, not bad, not bad. But when I see how much I progressed, you know, I'm still proud of what I did, especially on a drum and bass track. I think it got released as well, somewhere deep in the internet, you can find it, but...
Under what name?
I think the very first name was Spidex.
Spidex,
yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say a place, but I still get my inspiration from like watching TV shows and films. If I just hear like a really good actor saying something really interesting, or I'm like, wow, that sounds really like cinematic or epic, that would be really good on the track. So I feel like I get my inspiration more outside of even music. Nature is good to go and kind of like decompress, but that's more about decompressing from like the gig schedules and, you know, like trying to bring some natural energy into my life, I suppose, but not necessarily for music making.
Yeah, for me the only place is the studio, because my studio is like one room full of machines, and if I'm stuck I just plug on all the machines and I just get it going, from modular to hardware to whatever that makes music. And there is basically a video on YouTube as well where you can see my entire studio, and I do a little tour, but that's my place to go. You know, it's instant inspiration.
I would say my creative breakthrough like on a mental level was just when I stopped following labels. I stopped following an idea that I had to create music to get onto a label. And the minute I didn't care about the label and where my music ended up was when I was like way more creative. And then I could use like concepts and, you know, different ways to make music without having like an end goal of like, it needs to sound like this to get onto this label. And that's when for me, like true creativity could kind of flow through me. So yeah, that was my breakthrough and something I have to keep reminding myself, because now as you get through into like your career, you are more of a like, okay, your time is more limited, so you are thinking, okay, I need to make music to put out. But I suppose having more confidence to create EPs and, you know, having your own label also helps.
So my creative breakthrough, when I started with techno, hard techno, was like just before Corona. And then I decided to do an album. And it was like a full concept album. And I felt like really artistic that I could execute it entirely from tracklist to sound, from tempos to everything. And that was for me actually one of the most creative things I have done in my career. It's called Cancel Culture. So the album is called Culture. So that was already the start of the entire process. And yeah, check it out if you're interested, and enjoy.
At it like a snake sheds its skin.
I'd say raw, energetic and powerful.
First of all, it's industrial, a lot of energy and identity.
Your body's not who you are.
I think it's interesting just to see how like techno has really progressed in the last years. For me, it's a really exciting period of time right now. From like in pre-corona industrial techno, and there was already some little flavors of trance coming in and some like hardcore, and you know, like it was kind of like floating around pre-corona, and then obviously with corona it just sort of exploded. And now what I really like about it is how it's like the boundaries of techno is like being broken down, a lot more like subgenres and other genres being mixed in, and it's a really creative time. I know people like the purists are probably going to hate it because it doesn't become techno anymore, but it's interesting, like you know, the kids are actually really good at making music. The production level has gone up. Maybe some of the ideas are a little bit stagnant at times, but I still think the quality overall has really improved. And now with like, you know, hardcore and hardstyle in the mix, and even like dubstep, bass, it's just like whatever goes. And with that, I think a really like kind of like good sound design is also in the mix too. So yeah, I think it's exciting.
Yeah, I find it very interesting these days that like techno is like broken up. Like every sub-genre there is like getting involved. You can be really creative, and I hope this can continue. And I really enjoy it as well to be in that scene, to just make whatever I want to make. And be creative again, like take aspects from dubstep or drum and bass or even hardcore, raw. It's so fun to do, and I hope this can continue. And I see as well the quality going up, and I hope that this can continue and that we can still be creative and do our thing. So my advice would be like, be yourself, don't copy others, just do what you like and find your own sound, and believe in your sound and keep on doing that, and at the end of the road you will get there.
Yeah, I think just take all your inspirations, the things that you've listened to when you were younger, and all your influences, and just create something that you want to listen to. And I think that's also what the kids are actually doing. I would say kids, but the younger generation are doing. You know, pop edits is a real like sticky point for us. But at the end of the day, it's a different generation and different influence. So if that's what you want to do and that's what you're inspired to listen to, and you want to make some crazy mashup edit and dubstep breakcore version, just do it and go for it, because there's probably going to be other people that would really like that too. And yeah, just have fun.
Yeah, what I would say to my younger self is like, keep on doing what you like. Don't get distracted by negative stuff or like social media or whatever. Just be you and just believe in yourself. That's the only advice I can give to my younger self.
Yeah, mine would be to really not give a fuck what other people think about you. And don't hold yourself back for anybody. Like, I think that would be, yeah, what I would like to tell myself, and just go for it. There is no limit to what you can do, achieve. So yeah, be creative and have fun with it.